We're just a stone's throw from the Delaware River. We've got some water to contend with ourselves. A steady rain falling at Lincoln Financial Field. Today, it's week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here between the Washington Commanders and the Philadelphia Eagles. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at our home side in this one. They know coming in they've got to be at their best because they're facing one of the better overall defenses in the NFL.
And this is not one of the better offenses around in terms of running the football. So they understand that they're going to be put to the test a bit. The big plays in the run game, they haven't been there of late. So maybe that means we'll see them shake things up a little bit. Some RPOs, some touch passes, some draw plays, anything to try and gain a little bit of momentum.
Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. Philly's offense getting ready, and Jalen Hurts ready to lead them. The second-round pick who started his career at Alabama, then finished with an electric senior season at Oklahoma.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him the win. And they'll begin on the ground with Gainwell. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. The numbers on the ground for Gainwell last week. 23 carries, 82 yards.
And I'm eager to see how they deploy him in this game. Last week, a heavy workload. Do they decide to bring that down a little bit and try and keep him fresh? Or do they say, guess what? He's locked in. Keep handing him the football.
From the 30 on second down, Hurts drops this one down to Gainwell. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up third down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. The linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
And they needed 2. They could only get 1. Fourth down.
And that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
Here's the punter, Martin, out to kick it away. This is taken around the 12. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. Here are the Commanders for their first drive of the game. And they will be led out by their 6'3 quarterback.
And it's funny how we always talk about how analytics are starting to creep into the game. One analytic that's been there for a long time, teams that start 0-3 usually don't make the playoffs. So we know one quarterback today that's determined to end that slide right now. It's not impossible, but this is a must-win for him and his team.
Now a first carry here for Robinson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring it 2nd and 11.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Second down and a run by Robinson. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And they go in. Maybe a gain of a yard that time. And from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. Now this defense for the Eagles, they were excellent a week ago in the victory over Arizona.
Even better than that, they pitched a shutout in that game, and I'm telling you, trust me on this one. That's a confidence builder for the rest of the season. When you get a defense that puts together a performance like that this early in the year, well, that sends notice to the rest of the NFL and spreads confidence throughout the locker room that they're going to be a force to be reckoned with.
A gain of 14, first down Commanders.
I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Slings this deep from McLaurin. And this one is incomplete.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. To throw again. McClendon looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. And they're going to get this up to midfield. Their first possession of the game, and they're already going after double coverage.
That's a nice completion that can set the tone for things to come if they're able to keep finding ways to beat what the defense is throwing at them. They look like they're confident that they can get it done.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can... Gets tough in here.
To throw on 2nd down. McClendon, middle of the field. He's got McLaurin. And he's going to be taken down at the 4-yard line. Well, that's not just his first, not his second, already his 3rd completion here on the opening drive. And I think it's safe to say that getting him the ball in this game, one of their top priorities.
And a top priority for the defense has got to be finding ways to cover him. And I don't think you can have one basic coverage to get it done. You have to throw a number of coverages at him, make him think as he's running downfield, and hope you can create a little bit of havoc.
Solid opening drive so far, Charles. They've moved this football into field goal range, but you know that they want to cap this off with 6 and not 3.
Absolutely. As one of the better coaches in the league always tells me, on offense, I want their body blows all game long and finish it with uppercuts. Well, here are the body blows right now. He's hoping in one uppercut will take care of the end of this drive.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, McClendon. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
They're such a talented team at defending the perimeter and taking away throws to the outside. Great confidence, great skill.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Again, he'll drop the throw. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. They'll run for the first time with Antonio Gibson. And he is stopped just short on 3rd down. 9 yards, but needed 10.
luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
And McManus had a little too much slice on it. It's no good.
Always disappointing when you miss a field goal, but when you're playing against a defense this good, you and I both know that's a crucial miss because you can't afford to leave any points out there. You've got to take them when you can.
So back onto the field, here come the Eagles for their second drive. Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game, but I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them, but I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
On 2nd and 9. And this is caught by Watkins. A great job there, Charles, just to hold on, absorb that contact. I guess that's the risk you take catching the ball toward the middle of the field.
It is, and if you're going to gain yardage, you're going to have to go there at some point. But how about the read, okay? The eyes of that play, stepping out from the middle of the field and really making a big hit. Did not get free, but boy, that's a tough area to go into when you're going into his spot.
That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
Just a simple run play there on 3rd and 1, but this D was up to the challenge and stopped him, bringing up 4th down.
On 4th down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And they were in field goal range last time out, but couldn't connect.
It's early in the game, so I don't think that the confidence just goes entirely out of, running your kicker back out there. But let's face it, some coaches have a little bit less patience for that than others. Let's see if they call the game differently now in terms of what they do on drives and not try and settle for field goals.
Washington with a football here to begin quarter number 2. As they seven. On the counter, this is Robinson. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 15. Not much on that run, Charles.
That's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there that gets correctly to move the ball on the ground. Honed in on it and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
The offense on 3rd down, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down. Tress Way on 4th down is sent out to punt. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Eagles will have it taking over 1st and 10. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. We sort of suspected that the elements might wreak havoc on both of these offenses, and that's been the case. No points on either side as this drive begins with a 1st down. They start the drive here with Gainwell. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Have to give credit for a nice play there, but also have to look at it as a blown assignment. He became a free runner that turned into a free hitter.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Throwing is Hurts. He'll get this one complete. That's A.J. Brown. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Gainwell. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Hurts. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Montez Sweat, the man that time to fight in and drop him. Now, the number one mission of any offensive line, you got to protect that quarterback, keep him safe back there. This time, the rush got to him in a hurry.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely because, remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Wide open is Watkins. He's got him. Touchdown, Eagles. Quez Watkins, his first touchdown on the year. And the Eagles post the first points of the ball game as they take the lead here in this second quarter. The game had been pretty uneventful offensively until that big strike.
No doubt about it. Almost felt like they were just going back and forth a little bit in the first quarter. But in the second quarter, things ramped up a little bit. Things jumped up. And you're exactly right. Going to make a highlight film or two. We'll be watching that one later on today.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This fielded right at the goal line. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. It hasn't gone particularly well for them, that's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Looking to throw. McClendon. Here's a screen for Robinson. They follow up the gain of 2 in the game. That time.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen is a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with a little gain.
And the Eagles with a dime look. 6 DBs on 3rd down. Back to throw. McClendon. And he finds McLaurin. And he's going to have a Commanders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass trick in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard. Operating from the gun, McClendon, and a dump off here to Robinson. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Got this complete to Jahan Dotson. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 23 yards on the play. Back to the ground with Robinson. And he'll get maybe a couple before he's taken down, as that will take us to the 2-minute warning.
Let's go.
Looking to throw on second down. McClendon out route looking for McLaurin. He's got him. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Not quite enough to get into the end zone, but what a nice play there. He makes the catch, tries to turn upfield and get to the pylon, but doesn't quite get there. But they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal from very short range.
A chance now to get even before the break as they come up 1st and goal. And he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Commanders are an extra point away from evening this one up.
Instead of having to play follow the leader there, the leader led.
I like that. And he likes that, doesn't he? 1st and goal, let me do the job.
Because you know when he falls into the end zone after falling behind those big guys who pushed up front, that's a pretty good celebration, isn't it?
Gives him a little street cred in the locker room, too, doesn't it?
Street cred, and then when they go out to dinner afterwards, he's still picking up the check.
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This taken in at the goal line. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You could never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Going deep here for Watkins. And got his man complete. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Quez Watkins with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Eagles have taken the lead. Elliott good on the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. One play, 75 yards, 6 points. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. There's Terry McLaurin, such an exciting pass catcher as this offense comes out for their next drive. There's a lot of talk in training camp about him getting off to a hot start this year, saying that they needed that. Well, he's done it through the first month.
It kind of reminds me of one of those great musical groups where one person has their name out front, then they have the backups, right? He's the guy out front because the backups, they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, but we're going to the headliner each and every time, and that's not easily done because you know all the defenses are kicking towards him right now. That means he's fighting his way through traffic, finding ways to get open, even when he's not supposed to be.
The throw on the quick slant going to be complete. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. That's going to be caught downfield by McLaurin. Touchdown, Washington. Terry McLaurin, 71 yards. And the Commanders are an extra point away from tying the ball game here in the final minute of the first half.
After nearly 30 minutes of football, that touchdown puts us in a position where if they make the extra point, we're right back to even before we start the second half.
Now McManus for the extra point. And oh, he clanks it off the right upright. And it's no good. Washington kick team back out there now as they will send this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23. The Eagles offense going to take over late in this first half. And just inside of a minute left, Charles, they got a pretty long field ahead of them. I'm curious to see how they play this, but you would think definitely enough time to at least try to get 3 out of this.
Yeah, you want to move with a nice sense of pace. You want to up the tempo a little bit, but you have to do it with some poise as well. You don't want to go so fast that you hurry yourself into mistakes. There's enough time to put points on the board if they do it right.
And even though they have the lead, you know that they would love to extend this lead before heading to the locker room. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Here's Hurts to throw. He delivers another to Goddard, complete. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Hurts sets up to throw it. Oh, the Commanders are going to get there as he's taken down. Montez Sweat. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. Tell you what, he did not have much time there to scan the field before he was ducking and covering.
Did it appear to you, as it did to me, that the defensive front won their play really quickly? Meaning the guys in front of them had almost no chance to block them. They were on him in a hurry.
The Eagles will take their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. From the gun, it's Hurts. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Commanders are going to take possession of the football.
Certainly feels like the classic second guess, but let's be honest about it. They had a chance going to halftime with the lead. Why did they take a chance with a throw there? I don't understand that.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. And now this defense has to try to protect that lead going into the locker room. And time again to see Terry McLaurin in the Washington offense, making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. Number of catches, but his shredding defense is getting big yardage with each and every one of them.
Now the Commanders going to burn the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Come on.
Robinson up the middle. And he caught it up. But Washington looked to get this one back, and indeed they did. They will still have possession. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. Now with 5 seconds left, not really enough time to run another play and then stop it. So on comes the field goal unit. From the right hash, this from an even 40 yards out. The kick by McManus is good, and they have regained the lead. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
So we have reached halftime here in a tight 2-point contest. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. A lot to get to here as we say goodbye to September and take a look around the NFL here on this first day.
All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. So here is Washington now to take over. They are trying to snap that 3-game losing streak. On top so far with the football here, 1st and 10. Second half begins with a run by Robinson. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustment, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But it looks like they're ready to go.
There's a quick shot to his tight end. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Nice play call, a little bit of play action right there. If you need those linebackers to freeze for just a split second, it's usually all the room you need in order to get it to your tight end.
The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on 3rd down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He completes this one to Terry McLaurin. 20. Touchdown, Washington. I don't think there's anyone who could possibly doubt how fast he could run on the open field. But if there were, he silenced those thoughts there.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And his top speed, as computed by Next Gen Stats, 21.6 miles per hour. McManus now for the extra point. He missed one earlier, remember, but this time he gets it to go. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it's finished off by a Terry McLaurin touchdown. Kick team out there for the Commanders as they send this one away. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They make their second half debut here. Things are looking a little bit tougher now. You give up the points there, Charles, that touchdown drive on the other side. So now it's a 2-score game here. Got to be careful.
They certainly do, and I'm just wondering at halftime if those guys just looked into each other's eyes and realized what they've got to get done and come out a little bit more charged up, because if they don't get some kind of points here, that next drive, that could make this a free-possession game.
Montez Sweat getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
Well, at least it wasn't a turnover like the last drive. You'd think they'd make an adjustment and be ready to make up for that turnover. Instead, just another big play for the defense on that snap.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. He'll look to throw. Rolling to his left. And that one off the mark behind him. Incomplete.
The goal is certainly to try and make a big play happen and climb back into this game, but you have to be careful. If you overdo it, you could turn it over and hurt your team.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. That's to his running back, Gainwell. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. That'll bring up 4th down. They'll end up getting 8 yards, but they needed more than that. Here's Sam Martin now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And call that an even 50 yards on the punt with 7 on the return. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Washington ready to try again on offense. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now, but let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here.
I'll tell you what, this defense hasn't played its best, but they're still right in this football game. And if they keep making plays just like that, they're going to give their offense a chance.
On 2nd down, a run with Gibson. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
Well, they went back to him, but the results were similar, so I highly doubt that he'll get another opportunity here on 3rd and long.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to roll it out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. Here's Tressway now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And this will be taken at the 13. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with a bandit.
And they'll stay on the ground with Gainwell again. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, this is the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And he is going to have an Eagles 1st down by about a yard as they're able to convert on 3rd and 2. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Now left side on the swing pass. A good convergence there defensively, only a yard, and it's second down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. Only able to gain a couple there. 3rd and 7 now.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. What a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time, they pick up a first down. So now on defense, you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going.
A couple of first downs have him to the 40 now on 1st and 10. From the gun, a give to Gainwell. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape of it. And the Washington pressure gets to him. He will go down. No surprise there. Chase Young wrecks that play with a sack.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
So after that sack, Hurts and the Eagles, tough spot here. 3rd and long. He'll drop to throw. Open man, that's Devontae Smith. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Before they can snap, the time runs out. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's the Eagles behind on the scoreboard, but with the football here as we start the 4th quarter. Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
Hurts. This is Smith with a grab. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 28. A gain there of 21 yards.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a 1-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
Hurts. And it's complete right back in the hands of Smith. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They tackle him almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
From the gun, here's a run by Gainwell. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. Nothing doing there as the 13th play of the drive proves to be unlucky. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is, he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
The kick by Elliott is good, and that'll move him back within 6 now. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. Their lead back down to 1 score after the field goal a moment ago, so they'll be looking to string together a few first downs, likely on the ground as they begin 1st and 10. Off the play fake. McClendon. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first? Well, I'm sure he likes this performance a little bit better than last week. He had the 3 interceptions here, none in the 4th quarter, and he's got his guys in front.
Guaranteed he put in a tremendous amount of work this week, but maybe the matchup is just better for him. Sometimes it just doesn't work out. It's almost like those golfers. Certain courses fit their eye, and they like what they see, and other courses, as soon as they tee it up, they know they have no shot. Maybe that's the difference for him. Last week, no. This week, a big yes.
Alex Singleton, the linebacker, there on the tackle. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw. It's knocked away and incomplete.
But based on the play we just saw there, he might not be the guy you want to challenge in coverage on these all-important snaps. He certainly looks dialed in right now.
On 3rd down, McClendon. And this is too far behind his man. He missed it. It's incomplete. Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington. And they will get to this one and down it at the 13-yard line. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their own 13. Starting things out with a give to Gainwell. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards.
Well, they've certainly been successful throwing it around in this game. That's allowed them to move the ball on offense. But I've got to tell you, to watch them run the football and successfully, I'm not taking sides. But to see the ball in a running back's hands, oh, that's football for me.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. A nice little screen. They get 6 on 1st down.
With all the success they've had throwing the football as a pass rusher, you know you've got to come hard when you see him drop back to throw. So I really like this call to counteract that pass rush with a screen. It turns into positive yardage. A lot of times the offense says, just replace the rusher with the ball, and it turns into a good play.
And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Hurts finding Smith for the Philly first.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver trying to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in position to dictate to the offense.
Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And not much happening there. He's taken down, but a late penalty flag in the backfield. This looks like a roughing call. Charles, they're trying to protect this lead late. Those are the types of mistakes they could afford to go without.
About the last thing you want to give them is help in completing a comeback, which is exactly what that penalty does.
But first down, Hurts. That's going to be complete on the sideline, but, you know, that throw left him no room to run, and the good footwork nearly all for naught.
Partner took a while for him to lock onto a receiver, and he finally found his man coming left to right across the formation. But by the time he got the ball to him, not much of a chance to turn upfield and make anything out of it.
Now a pass dumped off to his running back. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
So the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Some coaches like to take the shorter, more reliable yardage, and some, they like to go for the big shot. No fear in risking a deep ball there, but it wasn't enough to get them the completion.
They're going on fourth down with Hurts. Throwing for Smith on the out route, and it's caught. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they wind up with a gain of 11 there on fourth down.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and we watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. We've got a one-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining. They come up on a first and goal, and most likely 4 down territory as they need a touchdown and a PAT for the lead. Back to throw. On a bad time late for a poor throw. It's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller. He's at the 50, the 30, 10, 5. And he will bring this one back. An interception return for a Commanders touchdown. An excellent play there, CD, on the pick six. And I think were they a nickel? Did they have an extra DB out there?
Yeah, Brandon, I think they were in standard nickel, not the Buffalo, as teams like to call it, meaning 3 safeties for big nickel. They just wanted to take away the quarterback's throwing lanes, and that's exactly what they did, and came through with a big-time pick six.
They'll let Robinson try and run. And he's going to go down right at the line of scrimmage. The defense left him with nowhere to go, and the try for 2 is denied. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. Hurts and the Eagles now down by 12. A minute 36 to go. Field goals useless at this point. They need 2 touchdowns, and they need them in short order.
Ready?
Hurts now hoping to make up for that pick six. Here's a screen with Gainwell. And some space here. He's at the 40, the 20. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Kenneth Gainwell, 75 yards. And the Eagles have made it a one-score game again here in the fourth. Elliott good with a PAT. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. So they got one of the 2 touchdowns they needed. Now for the onside kick. And this is going to be covered up by Washington. The tough one there. They certainly wanted that when they needed it, but they didn't absolutely have to get it. They still do have 3 timeouts.
You're exactly right. They had to attempt it. But even though they didn't get it, as you noted, with 3 timeouts, if they can get these stops on defense, all hope is not lost.
Straight ahead, it's Robinson. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. That one looks like he'll throw here. And Thomas has it. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Handoff now to Robinson. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Now the defense will burn their third and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. They'll run again here with Robinson. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, Robinson. And a hard-working run here as he's got it inside the 20, down to the 17. It'll go as a gain of 12, and that should just about wrap this one up. So here now is Brandon McManus in a big spot. This to put him a touchdown and a 2-point conversion up. And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these two teams meet. But until then, this game's over. So it's Washington